Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Happy Thursday to you here. This is awesome, folks. Hey, we got Bitcoin back on track, at least for the most part, right? 45,000, extremely important level. We want to talk about that. We'll draw out some new fibs here just so we can kind of get perspective on larger time frames, because I think it's important to kind of recognize the elephant in the room here, which is this 45K mark, 0.618 level. Some refer to that 0.618 to 0.65, I think it is, as a golden pocket. Essentially a really good area of retracement or consolidation, right? So if we can hold this price action, 45,000, I think we might have a good chance at continuing further up. But either way, we've broken free from this range and still looking quite positive here. Quick congrats to our committee members here. We got Premium over here, of course, Solana, nice 41% in 5 days, and Bitcoin, 27% in 5 days there as well. We actually hit our second target too, but that was just a fill with a different exchange, so percent was a little bit lower, but generally speaking, looking very, very good here. All that being said, if we take a quick look here at the 3-month chart here, this is just to get perspective on bigger picture, kind of give you an understanding where we're at here. We do see 35K as a heavy concentration liquidation. It's really the last amount of liquidation available, minus this 50,000 plus mark. Okay, keep in mind, it's like, well, why is the liquidation above the price when the price hasn't gone that high? It's because those are either stop losses and or just areas in which people were able to short the top. Okay, so some shorts are either still holding on for some strange reason, or they're just essentially, haven't taken profit yet. No matter how you look at it, there's a big picture there, and just want to kind of clarify that and show you that. The truth is, though, if we zoom in a little bit closer within the last month's worth of trading, we can see a heavy concentration of liquidation at 40,200 roughly. That's basically the area that we expected to be swept. All the more reason why we took a long position here in the recent past. And obviously, at this point, we can see next up 47 to 48K as a close approximate. I'm summarizing 46,000 technically to 47.9, but you could say 48K would be the next sweep essentially. Okay. Now again, you got to keep in mind, those levels are there mainly because we had some, 49,000 was a previous level. A lot of folks felt confident taking a lot of shorts once we lost that support at 46.5. So a few things to kind of think about, but generally speaking, that's the big picture here for us. So what we want to do here right now is kind of look at larger time frames and work our way down. Let's go ahead and start with the weekly. And just before we do that too, let's just double check here as well. Bitcoin dominance is on the rise. So keep in mind some alts are probably going to start coming down. Mainly because the price of Bitcoin goes up, a lot of alts go up with it, and then of course price sustains itself, and the price of altcoins typically go down, right? So you'd expect the price of alts to go up right now, but they've already gone up by a lot, and the profits are being taken on those coins. Okay, so that's generally what we're looking at there for the Bitcoin dominance. Okay, so take a look at quickly the traditional markets here, or sorry, more so important, the Bitcoin weekly chart. What we want to look at here, of course, is a couple of key factors. So what we want to look at is stochastic RSI trying to swing upwards and breaking through 70 on the RSI. This is a very positive contributing factor. Okay, so closing this week at 45,000 or higher, or in my personal opinion, 44,000 or higher, is still a very bullish sign. Okay, again, stochastic should swing up if we continue to maintain our current price action. We got a MACD FU. I know a lot of folks were kind of calling that the MACD divergence was going to occur on the weekly. That hasn't happened yet. Okay, now again, it's natural for this to occur. MACD FUs happen all the time. Okay, so don't kick yourself if you thought that was going to be a thing. It still could be, honestly. Price could totally rip down, honestly. That's just how the coin works. But generally speaking, right now at this point, we can see we've got mostly bullish signs here with that little bit of a reversal, and then of course we got all moving averages below the price action. That's fantastic. We like to see that. So let's take a look here at the 1-day chart, kind of see what's going on. So if we look at all the moving averages, we can see we're above all 4. That's fantastic, extremely bullish. Stochastic RSI swinging up for the second time. Remember, I've mentioned this before. Second stochastic swing is extremely important. I covered that in our video yesterday before the price took off. RSI staying over 50. That's a bullish sign. Money flow index above the price action. Very good sign. Same thing here with the MACD converging as well. So the daily time frame has no reason or indication that you want to consider shorting. Okay, so if you're shorting, you're kind of just you're kind of going against the grain, if you will. It's not really recommended at this point, at least in my personal opinion. While the price could pull back, and yes, it's overextended in a lot of time frames, it's still also not that bad when you think about it. So in other words, what I mean by that here, taking a look at the daily here, TD sequential, for example, we're only 2 days into this push. Not saying we're going to see a full 9 days, because the way the market's been going lately, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the price rip down, because some of these candle wicks are pretty freaking aggressive. Having said that, though, we literally could see 7 more days of continuation without correction, and we still wouldn't be overextended. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Try to put that in your head there. Not screaming that we're going to be seeing 50,000 plus, but there's a possibility we could see that tested. Either way you look at it here, 4-hour time frame, this is more of a telling time frame for us. So let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit. Just quickly regard here the fact that within the last roughly, this is about 6 weeks, last 6 weeks of trading, that range of 43,000 to 42,700, right in that close approximate range, we has a ton of volume. Now that we're above that, we can presume that's a support. All the more reason why 44,000 is a likely pivot point for us, so the price pulls back. Okay, so we could very well see a jump off this 0.5 Fibonacci level, which is at 43,800, round number 44K. Okay, so to me, 44,000 seems like an appropriate retracement area if the price doesn't end up pulling back. You got to look at this here. We're at a 7 on TD sequential, and the truth is, there's no reason why we should expect the price just to yank back because it's up and overextended. This isn't even an overextension yet. Okay, now truth is, well, if you continue to look a little further, we are retesting 70 on the RSI. If we drop below 70 on the RSI, we could see the price continue lower. Generally speaking, when you lose 70 on the RSI, it tells us that the price is going to continue in that direction for a little bit longer. Okay, so this is basically just telling us the relative strength index, and it's considered to be overbought, which makes perfect sense. We're seeing a stochastic divergence, money flow index is coming down. These are all signs in general, typically, to consider taking profit. I'm not saying that you should consider selling the entire portfolio, but I can say that breaking below 70, that's usually a sign for me to want to take profit. At least I use that strategy on smaller time frames with lower, like the 15-minute time frame, for example. When the RSI comes under 70, that's usually a selling point for me. Okay, so that's just kind of where we're at there for Bitcoin. So again, mostly bullish. Can it pull back? Yes. Will it pull back? Hard to say. We want to give it a chance to hold 50,000. Sorry, 45,000. I apologize. Not trying to, I'm not trying to, give you some false hope there. 50,000 is possible, but we got to confirm a lot of other things first. Okay, so hourly time frame, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Obviously, we're going to be above the cloud. Everything's confirming here. This is basically telling us we got no less than 12 to 24 hours of price action before we should even consider closing our position. In other words, the price could continue to do one of these here, and the lagging span would still be free and clear of the price action. Okay, so again, all well and good here. Do not consider shorting into this coin. There's a lot of momentum. There's no reason to do so. Okay, the lagging span, the cloud itself is averaging itself out about 44,600. So we could have a decent amount of support if the price ends up pulling back. We could see a pivot off that. Okay, so definitely looking good here in that regard. If we do look at some Elliott Wave here, of course, based on larger time frame movements, if this is the top, which I don't necessarily think that it is, we could see a retracement to these lower levels of 43 to 44,000. Okay, so again, I think this is a reality for us, or a potential reality. We got to just kind of wrap our heads around that. The first time retesting this 45K mark may not just hold. So if you are going to consider a short, those would be decent or appropriate targets. I would say just above 44K would be appropriate. But again, we don't know if the top is in yet, and this is still premature. Okay, I know a lot of folks are just wondering, hey, where are the signals? Why aren't we taking profit? Why aren't we doing that? Well, you got to recognize we took some monster profit on Bitcoin and Solana in only 5 days of trading, and almost everybody was skeptical about those trades. That's why swing trading is important, folks. You got to kind of roll with it, if you will, and make sure that you're not, overreacting, because a lot of people did close their positions too early. I get it. You can get scared, but, TA is TA for a reason. It's designed to be held for longer periods of time, and that's why those swing trades, again, you just got to kind of trust in the process. Right now, there's no confirmation that we want to short just yet, and if you're shorting right now, it's very risky because it's just kind of a gamble, if you will. While we have swept this upper level and we are somewhat on the overextended side. In fact, we take a look at TD sequential, we're at a 9, and we've hit 2 9s in a row. That's usually a cause for the price action to reverse itself. We still don't know this level here at 0.618 could very well hold, and if so, you might be shorting too early. Okay, but again, if you do short, there's nothing wrong with that. I totally understand the concept and the merit. So if you're going to do that, just ensure you're playing your cards right. You watch the trade closely, adjust your stop loss into profit as the price continues, in this case lower, and you secure the profit. Because right now, this kind of market, it's not a greedy market. You can't just hold forever, right? If you're going to be swing trading, you got to swing trade loosely, if that makes any sense. It's half the reason why I structure the trades like I did recently, and we took some nice profit again, 27% in 5 days and 41% in 5 days for Solana. We are very close on a few other profit targets as well. We're just going to have to wait and see. So to me, patience is perfect here in this case. I would just wait a moment longer and just try to keep your head on keep your head on straight and try not to overdo it. That's pretty much where we're at here. So again, all good stuff, fantastic stuff there. Quick little heads up too, we do have phenomenal exchange here with Bitunix. If you haven't used them yet, really do appreciate them. We had a brief update this morning. It was really nice. They're able to kind of take care of that and give us good updates, let us know what's going on. And it's mostly in preparation for a lot of new trading pairs coming out. And that's speculated for, like, I think the 20th and on. They're going to start adding a lot more trading pairs. So again, we use them, no KYC, no VPN, very, very good exchange. So thanks again, Bitunix, for everything. And I hope you all have a good rest of your day too. At this point, I would just say, pump the brakes, relax, try not to get too crazy on the shorts. I would say if you're going to consider shorting, alts would probably be the better consideration than Bitcoin, just based on the simple fact that Bitcoin dominance is up and alts are pulling back, taking that natural correction, so to speak, because of all the profits coming away from altcoins and going into Bitcoin. So again, all the more reason to just kind of be patient and wait. I hope you learned something here today. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.